Campers, it's me, Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees. From Friday the 13th, I'm here with AJ, and he's got the juiciest slice ready for you. It's dripping with blood. Jason never dies.
This time, I'm here to discuss the truly wonderful Michael Berryman.
Yeah, it's me.
If anything about this trips your fancy, please like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
As it turns out, he's a very perceptive and intuitive man, and saw right through me.
Incubus!
I tried to explain that I was merely a fan who appreciated his work, that the fact I'm a demon in a flesh sack had no bearing on our interaction, but he wasn't having it.
Don't think for a moment that you set the rules for me.
I'm a demon. The truth hurts.
I countered that this had to be nothing but transactional.
Can't do it.
This might be immoral or something.
Luckily, he saw I had a copy of his memoir in hand, so he knew, at least while sidled with a suit of flesh, I've turned a new leaf, so decided he would humor my blather, figuring it would be mutually beneficial.
Never look a gift horse in the mouth.
I most certainly would not.
In reality, my interactions with Michael couldn't have gone better, which honestly, on its own, makes Crypticon 2025 a stellar success. I was hoping for...
No screw-ups this time!
And my hope manifested into an unforgettable experience.
Ah, pineapples.
The man is an acting powerhouse who parlayed his unique appearance into a career that has spanned half a century. Quite an achievement for the open-hearted kid who vociferously confronted the parents of his bullies and called out their poor parenting for raising such cruel spawn. To think, it was a fluke, a lucky twist of synchronicity that led to George Pal discovering Michael, leading to his first role as the coroner in Doc Savage, the Man of Bronze. This exposure led him to being cast in the Oscar winner and enduring classic One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, in which he played former agitator Ellis, whose antisocial behavior led to him being lobotomized. Horror genius Wes Craven recognized he would make a terrific heavy, and Pluto, and one of film's greatest rivalries, was born.
Fucking devil dog. You son of a bitch!
I don't think calling a dog a son of a bitch is the insult he thinks.
Together!
That's better. From there, he was off and running, a film and television staple to this day. The new Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, Amazing Stories, and Freddy's Nightmares were all enjoyable anthology shows. But you know what Tales from the Crypt holds over them all?
Shouldn't there be two?
Perhaps one of his teeth is decayed.
Oh.
That's right. In the episode, The Reluctant Vampire, they got Michael to play a persnickety descendant of the family Van Helsing, who manages to stake the wrong, quote-unquote, vampire.
It had to be done, Lieutenant. It had to be done.
When I first approached, after greetings and an expression of thanks, I revealed how he's fascinated me since I was a child. I said I wasn't sure if I first saw him in Elf.
How did you get out of your cage?
I work here.
Or if it was the John Hughes comedy classic, Weird Science. I said I thought it had to be Elf, because seeing a wild biker guy racing through a house might have scared me. He said, nah, I should have recognized it was funny. I agree, it is. But I was a sensitive kid, and look how tough he looks. I explained that I have a very specific memory of the first time I saw the video box for The Hills Have Eyes at one of our local video stores, and was like, hey, there's that guy with the unique face. and how from there I had to do a bit of maneuvering to see it, because I was a teenager and couldn't just rent movies like that. When I finally finagled a viewing, perhaps because I had a predisposition for liking him, I explained how I felt kind of bad for Pluto.
Pee-wee, you wait till you get to be a man.
First, his big brother asserts dominance over him, leading to a humdinger of a temper tantrum. Those eggs did nothing to him, nothing. And on top of Mar's mistreatment, it's obvious he lives in total terror of his wild man father.
You heard what?
I'll go find him.
And then because he was led astray by the expectations of his family,
Hello, baby. You be a good dog, you get some.
he was totally humiliated and ripped apart by the German Shepherd Beast. A dog that, when it came right down to it, was far beastlier than him. Despite being brought back for the ill-conceived sequel, a film that can be summed up in one line.
The Reaper sucks!
Michael didn't allow the film's obvious failings to hamper his performance, and he sank his false chompers into the role with gusto.
Reaper took over. He patched me up. That's how much he digs me.
Even though Pluto was certain he'd learned, and was now able to listen up and outwit a dog.
I've been here 20 years. See?
Beast proved the ultimate winner of that epic and legendary battle of wills. Though it would seem he went splat like a can of Alpo into a dog bowl, while Beast watched contentedly.
Way to go, Beast. Way to go, boy.
It's good to know Pluto obviously didn't die, and actually fell through the portal in time, and wound up in an era more befitting his talents.
Hey!
Michael thought it was pretty funny I'd have any sympathy for Pluto, since he was an evil cannibal and defiler. Fair enough, but that twisted family dynamic has always annoyed me to some extent, because it's like, you're up to these horrible deeds together, despicable stuff, but you're not even loyal to each other? But then maybe I'm the weirdo, since they did have some odd form of camaraderie.
Yeah, he still got a gun. Yeah, I got bullets.
I told him that the only reason I accept Pluto in the Hills Have Eyes remake is because the new iteration doesn't step on Michael's toes, because he's a complete reinterpretation of the character, an excellent performance by Michael Bailey Smith.
Good man.
Quite the opposite of many of his rough and tumble characters. Michael Berryman is the sort of guy you can immediately tell is a kind soul. I basically gushed to him that I love his memoir, which he graciously signed. That definitely made him happy. He asked what I liked most. I said that though it's very intelligently written, it's also conversational. That it feels like he's sitting beside you telling his story as you read. He said that was exactly what he was going for, and what I said would make a good review.
It's not too late.
He would ultimately tell us he paid in excess of $5,000 to be told by an editor that his story wasn't commercial enough unless he included more Hollywood dirt. But I can tell you, the publishing world is full of fools, because his book is a remarkable piece of work.
I apologize for nothing.
The book chronicles his life from prior to conception to about the age of 29, with mention of the opportunity afforded to him when Michael Landon selected him to play the devil in 2 Halloween episodes of Highway to Heaven.
Anything I say.
It's kind of cool that in a show that posits Christianity is entirely true, Michael would be how the devil is conceptualized.
It's almost time. Get me a cow.
What a fun representation of Old Scratch, too. At once creepy and cultured.
Have a happy Halloween.
I'm amazed too.
I told him that many parts of his book touched me deeply. That his father, Sloane, was clearly a great man, and his grandma, Sophie, was a fantastic woman, but his mom was a real piece of work. He chuckled at that, because it's true. I related that I wasn't ashamed to say the story concerning the end of his grandma Sophie's life brought me to tears, and he said, that's how you know you're human. Not to overstate it, but it was a life-affirming moment, in which I shared emotional connection with someone truly worthy of respect.
Time to get out of here. And this time let's show a little respect.
Asking, what did you think about when I helped build my friend's cabin? He broached one of many fascinating stories in his tome. A friend's home, a log cabin, burned down, and insurance only covered the cost of materials, and not the labor to actually erect the structure. So Michael volunteered as a builder, and was there from start to finish. It's a really good story, and I suggest you get a copy of his book, and read about it yourself.
I assure you I can prove everything I'm telling you.
Because the condition Michael was born with, hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, means that he's incapable of sweating, a bit of a problem throughout his life since that equates to having no internal temperature regulation. He requires a comfortable environment, so as not to overheat.
But they refused to obey and rebelled.
Thinking that had to be a limitation, I asked how he's able to handle heavy makeup effects. There is a notorious story about how by the end of a day of shooting in the possessed Henrietta costume, during the making of Evil Dead 2, liters of sweat were poured out of the latex feet Ted Raimi was wearing. So obviously, being under heavy prosthetics can be very hot, and not in the good way.
Oh, angelic.
He said that the industry accommodates him because of the fact that he doesn't sweat. The reason for this is simple. Sweat messes up makeup. Thus, he's a makeup effects artist's dream. Because no sweat means their work stays in place and requires little touch-up. For that reason, productions always ensure when filming there's an air-conditioned space close by for him so that he can cool off between takes. This is really amazing because he went to college and tried his hand at many different jobs in his quest to find the career path that would suit his condition. That after everything, it's the film industry that accommodates his limitations is awesome.
That about does it. Haven't you had enough?
No, never. On the subject of the condition that defined his appearance, he was also born with his skull fused, and required surgery to saw apart his cranium, and place fragments of bone from other parts of his body, to mimic the suturing the rest of us took for granted, as it allowed our brains to grow, so we could live a life.
But what is life, anyway? Can any of us truly be said to be alive?
I told him I am so grateful medical advancement was where it needed to be to preserve the person he became. It would have been such an incredible tragedy had he suffered the consequences of what would have ensued without intervention. Blindness and a much earlier death. Brain the prisoner of intractable bone. What's wild, if you look at his hands, you can see how he never developed fingernails, giving them something of an alien appearance. Michael has no vanity when it comes to any aspect of his appearance. When he got into film, essentially coming out of the shadows and opening himself up to the whole world, he accepted and embraced his differences with the aplomb and dignity that define him. It was the only way he could be comfortable with so many people looking upon his distinctive visage. I mean, even in shadow, the man's silhouette stands out.
I don't know their names.
Getting back to that bit of business I alluded to in Bill Moseley's video, I was looking to get a quote from Michael's book on one of his 8x10s. I'd hoped to find a poster from one of his movies, but alas, no vendors were selling posters, so I was out of luck. Of course, the idea had come to me too close to Crypticon to order one online, and ensure it arrived on time. No matter, I'm satisfied with what I got. Yeah, his book is chock full of great quotes, some really inspirational thoughts. And I figured it would be a delicious irony having one of these quotes on a horror movie poster. In case you missed the quote, here it is. It takes an open mind to be available for action when an opportunity intersects with awareness. I love it. Something else I love? Michael's work in this incredibly evocative film. Another thing he did that showed me he's a resoundingly good man was that whenever he could, he brought up the film The Evil Within, knowing it takes others to perpetuate a legend.
Someone like...
A truly wild ride with maybe an even wilder production history. It was certainly complicated. The flick was a passion project for its creator, Andrew Getty, an oil heir that spent his fortune bringing the project to fruition, only to succumb to the stress of it all when an ulcer perforated. The script arose from Andrew's own deeply disturbing nightmares, dreamscapes so horrifying he felt they arose separately from his psyche, and is a practical effects extravaganza that took years to film. When you see a shot like that, it's understandable. Sadly, Andrew died before the film was completed. Luckily for us, components conspired to ensure the film saw the light of day. Michael, as the figure the main character is beset and coerced by.
I'll let you wake up if you do a job for me.
Was paramount in the whole process, and obviously has a great appreciation for the film. I heard him discussing it with fans at his table, and then during the Devil's Rejects Q&A, he seized opportunity to make a statement.
I'd like to do a shout out to our lost brother, Sid, but also Matthew.
Here, here.
There is a film, you can get it all day long, $10 from Amazon. It's called The Evil Within.
I really love that he talked about all this, and I find it fascinating what he revealed in terms of his living situation during filming.
The only film produced by Andrew Getty. I lived at his home in his castle actually for a year, and we had Sean Patrick Flannery, Dina Myers, Fred Kohler. It's based on a nightmare that Andrew had. All practical effects. He spent his entire fortune on it. It's a work of art. It's based on a nightmare.
It's interesting to me that a dream inspired the film, because I have some very strange dreams, in which I live all the minutiae of another life, sometimes for months. Like I sleep and dream within a dream.
Now there is a scene where Sean Patrick Flannery, bad things are happening in the house, and he wants to go see his therapist. So he goes to a restaurant outdoors, and he sees a gentleman from the back, and it has the same jacket that his therapist wore. He accidentally bumps into this person's back.
Michael cued this up perfectly.
Excuse me, Dr. Preston. I'm sorry.
What a terrific use of perspective to review Matthew's genuine enormity.
He had Matthew McCoy in for a meeting, and he told Matthew, he said, look, you get all kinds of roles where you're never really human being.
I'm in the mood for sense.
The tremendous size of Matthew's hands is astonishing. The way he makes a grown man look like a child.
You're a creature, a gargoyle, or however they want to categorize you. He says, I'm going to give you a role where you can bring out your humanity.
And you called me a hell of a time. Go ahead, ask me the question.
You can see why this dialogue resonated with Michael.
Everyone fucking asks me. They fucking man every fucking day. Why do you look like that?
Striking a chord that goes back to his earliest encounters with uncaring others.
What's wrong with you? You wanna know what's wrong with me? Nothing.
Hear, hear. Unusual doesn't equal freak, beyond the basic definition of that term, as in different from the rest.
I'm just dandy.
There's good reason. It was very personal to Matthew, too.
Andrew Getty let Matthew write that dialogue. That never happens.
What insight into the man's life.
Until, of course, some asshole like you comes along and ruins my damn good time.
How many times did he endure stares, snide comments, the human predisposition to judge harshly that which isn't immediately understood? At some point, no apology would be enough.
Terribly sorry, sir.
That little shove was great.
And you know what? It brought some dignity and humanity for Matthew to really appreciate it. And God bless him.
Was that ever released?
Yes, and Matthew.
That scene was there?
It's in the film, and Matthew passed away 4 months ago.
Okay.
That it was important to Michael to keep the memories of Sid and Matthew and Andrew alive, to speak of his fallen friends, I believe demonstrates that he understands one of the truest truths. When we die, all that's left of this life is how we are remembered, how those who cared felt. And when the last person who knew us dies, even if we have some body of work that goes on, that last true part of knowing us will be lost forever.
Design ain't lying.
Then I took the opportunity to discuss the Ruggero Deodato flick he played a huge role in, Cut and Run. In that one, he plays possibly the scariest and freakiest character of his career, adept brutalizer Cacho. One with the river the way alligators are one with the river. He's such a cool character. He inspired a new series, Outstanding Villain Outros. I was going on and on about the various scenes I enjoyed, such as this one. And since I had started by saying I had an inquiry, he kindly cut me off and was like, "What's your question?" So I had to pull back from my excitement a little to ask directly about the character's death at the end of the film. The main characters have escaped and think all they have to do is fly away, but Cacho has other ideas. Shocked but not defeated, investigative journalist Faye acts fast and blasts him in the face with a fire extinguisher. And then makes it to an assault rifle and neutralizes him permanently. Because this is an Italian film, and they're infamous for cutting corners, sometimes in callous ways, I asked if they blasted him with a real fire extinguisher and just let him suffer the effects. He said it was a real fire extinguisher, but it was filled with shaving cream, so that was a relief to learn. Though, the effect didn't go off without defying expectation. He said that behind the camera, Deodato started laughing like a maniac when the first blast of shaving cream shot him square in the face and blinded him. Seeing it isolated, I get why it would be funny. Then think of this. Michael endured that for minimal film time. The entire clip of the blast is a second long. Michael always delivers amazing performances. It's sort of his hallmark. Whether he's a terrifying, if often undercut villain such as Pluto,
Got
rocks in your head, asshole.
Or the even more terrifying Keicho, able to signal his minion to attack. A fundamentalist cult member in deep trouble over a lost shoe.
I will go get it. If I can find it, who would find it?
An escaped mental patient with performance anxiety in regard to his chainsaw.
Hey! No way to treat your tools!
That he gets over with the help of a potential victim who instead won his heart.
You want me to give it the first pull? I really can't.
For me.
The uptight principal in a Motley Crue music video.
I'm afraid that we owe you an apology.
Or the mildly uppity custodian of a brothel.
Them losers want to fuck Princess Leia, right?
I'd fuck her.
Easygoing until offended and agitated into a state of froth by unfounded accusations.
That boy over there looks sexually frustrated, and I don't approve of chicken fuck.
Unafraid to stand up for his scruples and voice his displeasure. Which was understandable, since anybody who isn't a chicken fucker would want to dispel the notion they might be one, and henceforth take their business elsewhere.
We ain't never buying chicken from him again, boss.
Yeah,
No matter who he's playing, he gives it his all, and is a recognized icon of the genre, so renowned, even just getting his image, such as in the case of the 2024 film, They Turned Us Into Killers.
Jed, the creepy old dude who killed himself right after they found Mrs. Miller's body.
Can uplift your movie, even among a stellar cast of other genre icons, such as Death House.
Prowl, age unknown. Bioweapon, U.S. origin. Apprehended South America.
He manages to be a standout when he appears.
We have always been with you.
With a stacked filmography going back half a century, you'd think his whole life is acting, but there's so much more to him than that. A longtime lover of the ocean, because the salt water always helped his condition. He loves body surfing, and is a certified diver. Is an accomplished javelin thrower, a staunch environmentalist who lived in a wolf sanctuary for a decade. He enjoys a wide and eclectic array of music and books, and even loves cooking. I opened up and told Michael that as a performer, an actor, I couldn't love him more, that he's great in every respect. But as a person, a man, a human being, I couldn't have more admiration for him. Knowing all I do about his travails, how he took every obstacle in stride, and with good humor, it's hard not to put him up on a pedestal for all he represents. He's one of the most self-actualized people you'll ever meet, too, fully aware of his strengths and shortcomings. Did he always have it a bit rough?
Yes.
When we were waiting to go to the Devil's Rejects Q&A, I sidled up to Michael and reiterated what an honor it was to meet him. I said that just being in proximity to him was such an amazing thing to me, getting to be in his presence. He said, "Proximity, I like that." His book was in my hand, and I told him it pains me he was ever treated poorly, especially when he was a child. I said that to me he looked like such a jolly and happy little guy. I thought he was adorable. I mean, look at this cheerful smile. He said, "Well, ignorance is bliss. Ain't that the truth?"
Yes.
A man of great humility, totally accepting of who he is, Michael is a good lesson to anyone who feels held back by physical limitations. Besides horrible health complications, he had to overcome a visage made for monster movies, and the stigma that entails, by embracing that very look, to become one of the finest character actors of his generation. He was even cool enough to appear in one of the Ramones' music videos, with Linnea Quigley. I only wish I had asked more questions and learned that much more about him.
There are some things man was not meant to know.
No matter, there's still more to say. I'm sure there are things.
I forgot. Oh, right.
So let me think.
Shut up, or I'll kill you. I was just on my way out.
Well, I guess I better be going then too.
Thanks fucking Christ for that.
I don't question his word.
Please check out the next video when I talk about my second meeting with the legendary Dee Wallace.
Alright, this better be good.
In her 70s now, and still a total MILF.
You'll get your horns for this.
Bye now.
Bye, creepy man! Keep it creepy!
He's a weird guy.
Goodbye!
You never should have got off the road.
Oh, yeah?
I ain't the only crazy out here.
That's the juiciest slice. Yeah, not.